moving over to pitcher and player of the week. Some good stat lines last week. So what do you got?
Yeah, well, we'll do position player of the week first. We got Josh Fleming from York. He's going to Grand Valley State. He's a senior. He went 10 for 16. He had 3 bombs. He had a triple, 2 doubles, 8 RBIs, and 10 runs scored. And he also walked twice and swiped a bag. So really good week for Josh. And then Austin Musso. He dominated once again, like we're used to seeing with from him. He took down Highland 7-0 through a complete game shutout. Just allowed 2 hits, and he struck out 17 with just 1 walk. So really impressive stuff from both those guys.
Well, and you just mentioned another name there, Austin Muzo. He's going to be high on our Player of the Year watch too, because he was doing it with the bat at a high level early in the year, and then hasn't slowed down at all with what he's doing on the mound.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then moving over to Diamond Notes, I got a couple nuggets from this week's story that I just wanted to mention again. Kenyon Camp at Father McGivney went 8 for 13 on the week with 3 doubles, 5 RBIs, 6 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, and 3 walks. And then Anderson Kaufman down there at Alden, he threw 5 innings pitched, struck out 7, walked none, allowed 3 hits and no runs in Alton's 5-0 win over Belleville East. So Kaufman just continuing to do what he does, not walking a ton of guys, probably throwing a lot of strikes. So good stuff there.
Well, and that's a freshman that finds himself in the top 5 of our rankings. And a lot of it has to do with the fact we were able to get a ton of in-game looks on him. We had him at the Junior Future Games last year. We've seen him 2 or 3 times already this spring, and he is the same guy every time we see him. A stud. So keep doing it down there, Anderson. It's awesome to see. And I had a couple too, Gavin, if I can jump in here. But one was left-handed pitcher Josh Holst. He's been a rock there for like Libertyville for the last couple years. He's finally a senior. He recently just recommitted to Air Force. So he'll be going to Air Force Academy. But he threw a complete game shutout against Mundelein, one of their rivals. Struck out 14, didn't walk anybody, and allowed 5 hits. He's also a guy that impacts like the game with his left-handed bat as well. And he went 1 for 3 with an RBI single in the first inning of that game. Just that was a huge series, them against Mundelein. Mundelein was able to split with Libertyville. It is every year, just kind of like a highly sought-after series. You can kind of throw out the records and the rankings, and those teams just battle. And then I had Patrick Connors, a 2026 outfielder, uncommitted at Hinsdale Central. Did it with the bat, but then like also the stolen bases to me just really stood out. But in a 4-game stretch, he had 8 hits and 16 at bats, so he hit 500. But he stole 9 bases in 4 games, and then he also got on the mound and threw 3 innings, no runs, gave up 1 hit. I really like him in center field. He can flat run and go get it, and then that clearly is translating to the base pass as well. So kind of a game changer, top of the order type of guy there for Hinsdale Central, somebody that a lot of people should, schools and coaches at the next level should be paying attention to.
And then, Gavin, 2 names I wanted to throw out. I always bring this up, but my player of the year pick before the year was Enzo and Felice. Had another big week this past week. 9 for 16, 3 bombs, 8 RBIs, 4 runs scored, and a walk. Hammond, I know you'll probably touch on him here in a little bit later because you saw Pravi this past Saturday. But want to shout out Enzo, man. Just, again, continues to prove himself as one of the better bat-to-ball guys in the entire state. Then I want to move over to Batavia. Brandon Oakey, 2027. Listen, he showed really well for us at the Lockport preseason ID earlier this winter, and seems like he's just been tearing it up all season for Batavia. This past week, over 5 games, went 9 for 16 with 2 walks, also threw out 4 runners on the base paths, so doing it on both sides of the ball. So really excited to see Brandon's performing. Like, I know we bring it up all the time, but it's one thing to see these guys show well in a showcase setting, but when they go to their high school teams in the spring and really put up numbers there, that to us is really what matters. So just want to shout out Brandon. He's having a heck of a year.
I like the Enzo shout out too, and I know Pete's going to probably get into it with watching Mount Carmel and Pravi over the weekend, but I think an underrated thing about Enzo is like he's long been one of the top right-handed bats in the state. Providence has a ton of versatility. They have a ton of depth. That their roster is one of the more impressive rosters in the state. But like Enzo has played all over the place. Like, he can play first base, he can play third. I think some of this year he's played a little shortstop. But then he also is probably their top catcher, and they've got a lot of good catchers over there at Providence. But he's one of their top catchers, and then he also pitches. It's like this guy can kind of do a little bit of everything, yet, every day he's still performing at the plate. To give Coach Smith over there that much versatility with one of your best players, and for Enzo to just keep doing his thing, I just think that's really impressive, and something that's always really caught my eye with Enzo here the last 2 years.